Gridiron Grinder, hut hut hike.
All right, party people. It is Wednesday night, Gridiron Grinder time. I'm Ryan. With me, as always, is my buddy James. We're just a couple of super cool dudes from different parts of the United States talking about what's going on in the NFL each
We're
week.
not from different parts of the United States. We live in different parts of the United States.
All right, thank you. From the same part of the United States, currently living in different parts of the United States. I don't know. I mean, you've been out there on the West Coast for long enough that it's like you're from there now. But I whatever. I get it. Whatever. It's technicalities, James. Where was I at? So anyhow,
that was a nice aspect. Well done.
So anyhow, we are in episode blah 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 blah. You know, like 6 years strong now on Gridiron Grinder. And for tonight, our plan was to do our AFC free agency matchmaker session, which we're obviously behind the game here because we had to skip a show, and we would have been behind for the NFC side of it anyhow.
Somebody got really fucking sick, and you know,
you couldn't burn it out with whiskey. It happens, man. I get it. But so either way, we're still going to do the same show. We're just going to obviously be doing it after the fact to some degree now. And so we're going to talk about some of the developments in free agency. Then we're going to look at the teams in the AFC, see what needs they had going into it, which ones they've addressed, which ones are still out there. And then, you know, are there any players still hanging out in the top 101 list of free agents from NFL.com that look attractive to maybe pursue? And we'll try and do the same thing next week with the NFC, which will obviously be an even thinner list. But that's okay because it's still fun to talk about. So all that makes sense, my man?
Makes sense.
All right. So before we dive in, do you want to, go through the down and dirty on the Max Crosby situation?
Yeah. So as everybody already knows, on Friday, Max Crosby was traded to the Ravens for 2 first-round picks. Then he showed up in Baltimore on Tuesday, got his physical, and everyone knows, and the Ravens knew he had off-season knee surgery, and he's only been off the crutches for a week. And after the physical, the Ravens turned around and said, "No, something with the medical
spooked him.
Something spooked the shit out of him." And like hearing Eric DeCosta speak about it today, like he was fucking bummed.
Well, he's got to behave that way because he's had GMs calling him out. So
right, but the reason they're calling him out is because then after they canceled it, they went and signed Hendrickson. But what all the reports that I'm hearing is they're selling some of their selling points to Hendrickson was we'll put you on the same offensive line as Max Crosby. Defensive line with Max Crosby. And first of all,
but they signed him after they reneged on the trade.
They did. But they were having conversations with him.
I gotcha.
Going back to Monday when the legal tampering period opened, and they were selling him, telling him, we still want you. We'll put you on. We'll put you and Crosby out there together.
Yeah.
And first of all, that would be fucking unfair to the rest of the fucking league. But something spooked the Ravens with the Crosby deal, with Crosby's medicals, and you know what? It's just like a timing thing. Like right now, he's not going to pass the physical. They kind of knew that, but it's just had to have been something with it that just like no, like he's not progressed to where he thought he would. They saw other potential issues. They found out more about the exact surgery that was done, which was more involved than what was originally thought.
No, and I mean, there's a lot of wild speculation about it, right? Because Crosby's agent came out recently and said that he was ahead of schedule in the recovery. There have been people that have come out and said, Well, yeah, no shit. He failed the physical. He wouldn't have been able to pass a physical until June or July, anyhow. And every GM in the league knew that going into this. And there was obviously the anonymous GM that said it's bullshit on the Ravens' part, because everybody knew you couldn't get a fair look at him until June or July. But either way, it happened. I don't know if you heard about this. I can't remember if you and I talked about it. I know I talked about it with one of our other buddies, but apparently the Lions had a tentative deal before the Ravens and they backed out. And so
I didn't hear about that.
And it had nothing to do with medical. You heard about Terry and Arnold and his off the field issues or not? Apparently he went vigilante and like a buddy got robbed or something. And so he went and like robbed the guy that robbed his buddy, and he did it with a firearm. And now there's, an investigation to find out, what exactly went down here. But it looks like his time in the NFL could see
he went
at least a temporary blip. So
OJ Simpson to get his shit back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
And all I know is that this happened right at the same time that Brad Holmes supposedly had a tentative deal in place to bring in Max Crosby. And the rumor I heard is that the Lions were going to do the 2 first-round picks. And then when Terry and Arnold got in trouble, Brad Holmes called it off and said, hey, I got, too many fish to fry here. I can't do this right now. And I know you're talking to other teams. I don't want to slow you down. Now there's, rumors that maybe the Lions come back into the mix. They just restructured Goff, which the timing of that seems kind of strange because, Crosby, Renig, there was really no reason to restructure Goff because they weren't making a splash in free agency, and they had already made the moves that they needed to move to like start getting in position to have their space for the draft class and whatever else. But now it makes me wonder, are they giving themselves this space just in case this thing becomes a real thing again? And I see you digging into it. But now I've also heard
I'm reading this Terry and Arnold shit.
Okay. And then now I'm hearing with Crosby that one of the doctor was saying that they think his meniscus is it's like a chronic thing that even though it's been repaired, there's an expectation that it's going to shorten his playing career. And that's kind of why Baltimore thought, well, shit, 2 first-round picks for a guy that might only be able to play another 3 years or something is not worth it. So, and nobody knows how that'll play out in time. It's just, making their best guess based on what doctors are saying. So, yeah, you're reading about the vigilante stuff.
Okay. So allegedly, the allegation against Terry and Arnold is he was in the car when one of the arrested suspects planned the retaliation.
Okay.
Planned it. He wasn't actually involved in it.
Oh, see, I was told he was a part of it and he was carrying a firearm. But yeah, I guess I haven't heard of him being arrested or anything. So maybe it's all just speculation. Some wild stuff, though. Wild stuff,
Yeah, so he was allegedly in the car when they planned it.
So what is he, somehow an accomplice, even though he didn't do any of it?
So therefore he
probably just told his buddy, yeah, man, go and jack that guy to get your stuff back.
So this is prosecutors accuse Arnold of suspecting his private driver of 2 burglaries of $100,000 in cash and an $80,000 necklace, among other items, at his rental home. So he suspected his driver and didn't turn him in.
Okay. I don't know. That's different than what I heard, but I haven't looked into it since I heard the initial part of it. So yeah, that's weird. And maybe not as bad for him in terms of what kind of playing time he might miss. Because if he didn't actually carry out the act, I mean, what are we talking about here, man? You heard some guy bitching about something and thought he might go do something, but come on.
No charges are filed. Lions, blah, blah, blah. These people face a variety of charges, from kidnapping to aggravated battery in connection with an incident that allegedly took place on February 4th at an apartment. According to court filings, Arnold's Airbnb rental unit in Largo was robbed of designer bags and a cell phone issued to Arnold by the NFL. Sometime before the prosecutors that the robbery was reported to authorities, and that Arnold suspected his driver was involved with the robberies.
Okay.
Alleged that a friend lured a friend of the driver and his friend to her Tampa apartment, where they hid and are hiding, armed with a rifle and a handgun.
So they suspected the driver was the original robber, and then they set up the driver to get the stuff back. But Arnold was part of the vigilante part of it. Or no? Because that's what I heard, is that he was part of the get the stuff back crew.
No, like he was not involved. Everything I'm reading was that he was not involved at all. He was just fucking in the car when it was planned.
All right. Well, that's a lot different and weirder than what I originally heard, which I don't know. I guess we'll see how it shakes out. So
yeah, either way, it's so fucking weird, but yeah.
Whatever. All right. Well, I guess, whatever. It is what it is. Why don't we dive into some free agent matchmaker stuff?
All right. Going in alphabetical order. Well, first up, we have the Baltimore Ravens, who we kind of already talked about. They signed Hendrickson.
Yeah, and like you were saying, they might have had him and Crosby. I do think that would have been a prudent thing for them to double down. I'm not necessarily saying 2 powerhouse guys like that, but their defense was so bad last year that you could argue that they do need more help than just Hendrickson on that defensive line.
Yeah.
Interior offensive linemen and tight end are the other.
That's mainly because they lost Lindenbaum.
Yep. And then they let Isaiah Likely walk in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And so they still got Mark Andrews, but he's getting a little long in the tooth. I guess in terms of tight ends and offensive linemen, let's see who's even available.
So they already signed John Simpson.
Okay, so not someone from the 101.
To a 3-year, $30 million deal.
Gotcha.
Basically, the interior O-line on the top 101 is Elijah Vera Tucker.
Oh, he signed with the Patriots.
He signed with the Patriots.
I don't think there's anybody on the interior offense. Oh, Wyatt Teller and Kevin Zeitler. They're still available. And both those guys, I think, are serviceable. Zeitler would be a very short-term thing. I think Wyatt Teller probably got a couple years in him still, but um, Zeitler played in Baltimore, so bring him back, man. I mean, it's a whole different regime now, but
I mean, Wyatt Teller, he's kind of getting long in the tooth. He's coming off an injury.
Yeah, and I think they're
Zeitler too.
It's like they're needing to replace a center, and these guys are both guards, but their offensive line was not. I think they could use a guard too, right? Because their need is interior offensive line. Maybe they got to find a center in the draft, but this would help them. And we were talking about it before the show, I think, which was, if you're going to let a guy like Linderbaum walk and just sort of like willingly let your offensive line go down a notch, one of the only teams that can probably get away with it is a team like Baltimore, where you got Lamar Jackson at quarterback, because he's so mobile and a lot of his stuff is off script anyhow. It does help to have a pocket, absolutely. But it's sort of like one of the rarer exceptions to the rule, right?
Yeah, but everything I'm reading is they offered Linderbaum a record contract for center, and Vegas just blew Linderbaum fucking away. Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like we talked about it. Like they had to franchise tag him.
Yeah, they should have. They definitely should have. And then at tight end, I think it's pretty obvious, right, that they're going to be rolling with Mark Andrews as their one. You do have Dallas Goedert, Darren Waller, and David Njoku out there, but I don't see them pairing Mark Andrews with any of those three. I think they're looking for a guy to be the clear second fiddle, right?
Exactly.
So that takes us to the Buffalo Bills.
So the Bills need wide receiver, which
they got that covered now.
Some would say they have that covered. I'm not certain. I think DJ Moore coming off a down season, I don't really like the fit that much. Edge and DB. And they have DJ Moore. They signed Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, that helps.
So I think we're just really looking at DB for them.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just working my way there.
Cornerback. Ooh.
Much available.
Cater Kuhu, Trayvon Diggs, and Kobe Durant.
Kobe Durant's had a good run in the last couple of years. Diggs is Diggs is an all or nothing. Get the pick or get burned. I would not want him. And then at safety, you got Jaquan Brisker.
And then Gardner Johnson.
Gardner Johnson, both injury kind of plagued guys. So Buffalo, I mean, they're probably looking at maybe Kobe Durant, I would say, is the best of the bunch out of those guys. The Kohu guy, he's got that partially torn ACL, so and he's a slot guy, so you got risk of that. Otherwise, man, it's a draft situation for these guys, or they're going lower on the list of free agents, and they're getting to a guy that we don't even have on our list.
Yeah, basically.
So, but they want to win with offense, and they addressed some of that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Time will tell. I don't. We talked about it when they traded for DJ Moore. I don't think it really moved the needle.
I like DJ Moore. I think for me, it's a fit issue where Buffalo hasn't really operated with a true number one in a while. Even when Diggs was there, it was kind of a weird fit where, it seemed like he was obviously the number one and he was getting the stats for a while, but at the end there was some strife because it's just not the way Josh Allen plays, man. He spreads it around to everybody. And so I think DJ Moore could be good for them. It's just going to be, does it, how much, I guess, like you're saying, how much does it move the needle, especially if all they're going to do is spread the ball around anyhow?
All right, on to Cincy.
Sure.
All right, so Cincy needs listed according to NFL.com, defensive line, obviously, interior offensive line, and cornerback. From what I'm reading about the analysis, is the interior offensive line is more depth than a starter because they did re-sign Reisner.
Yeah, but come on, man. Fucking Joe Burrow has been one of the most hit guys like every year. So they could for sure beef it up. It's just I don't know. They've thrown a lot of money at the offensive line over the last 4 or 5 years, and they just haven't really been able to get it to that like top 5, top 10-ish level, right? So
yeah, and
what
so
they're doing is
far
not working.
So far, they signed edge Boye Mafe.
Yeah, that was a good signing, and knowing that Hendrickson was going to be gone, that's not bad. It slows some of the bleed, but I don't think that move on its own is,
No.
lighten up the defense. So,
And they signed safety Brian Cook. We kind of already went through the cornerbacks that are left, which was
yeah, Kobe Durant, probably the best of the bunch. Trevon Diggs, and then the Kohu guy.
yeah. So I'm more interested in edge, who is
Yeah, could they double down on the edge? I mean, honestly,
who is a
that would be the smartest move in my opinion. But
so
yeah,
Joey
who are you
Bosa, Arnold Epiketti,
Yep.
AJ Espenza, Hassan Reddick. Cam Jordan re-signed with New Orleans.
Okay, they just didn't update him yet.
Al-Qadim Muhammad.
Yeah, Muhammad was great for the Lions last year, but can you trust that he's going to do it again?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, man, honestly, because of the way Cincinnati operates, I would just be like, hey, we got our main guy. Let's go and pluck Jadeveon Clowney for a year and put him on the other side. And if Clowney's got nothing left in the tank, at least he'll be like a high caliber rotational guy for depth.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see them, they missed out on all the other top guys. I don't see, and AJ Epinesa, he's kind of a rotational guy. You could throw the dart on Bosa, but he faded hard last year. And Abikati, however you say his name, he got burned by 2 rookies last year in Atlanta. And so even though he was starting to look good, you'd be taking risk on that. And so I think it's a lower level guy. I mean, maybe if you could get Al-Qadim Muhammad for the right price, maybe you try him. But I think they're looking at like Jadeveon Clowney, man.
Yeah. So on to Cleveland. Oh,
Sure.
we get to talk about quarterbacks.
Yay.
Wide receiver and offensive line. So far, they have signed, or they traded for Titus Howard. Signed Zion Johnson. Elton Jenkins.
Yeah, from the Packers. I actually really like that signing. I wanted the Lions to go after him, but whatever, it is what it is.
And
Quincy Williams at linebacker.
Quincy Williams, yeah. So
all right.
Wide receiver, quarterback. So let's just talk about quarterbacks first.
How about we take our 10-minute pause? The clock's ticking here. And then we'll talk about quarterbacks.
All right. I was looking at the bottom, not the top for the timer for some fucking reason. All right. Sounds good.
All right, talk to you in a minute.
Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. All right, James, you want to talk about quarterbacks, my man?
All right. So quarterbacks. Number one available is Kyler Murray. He's going to Vikings.
Seems likely, yeah.
Okay, Kirk Cousins. Well, if Stefanski was still the coach there, I could see it
Might
happen.
make sense. Might make sense. Yeah.
Not going to happen.
No.
Aaron
Which
Rodgers.
by the way, Stefanski in Atlanta, what are you going to do? They brought in Tua. Like I was saying, hey, if you were ever going to pair, what do? You got two lefties paired up here, man. And all they're doing is paying the veteran minimum for them. I think that was a good deal on Atlanta's part. But all right, that's for next week. Yeah. So keep going. Sorry.
All right. Then we have Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Like if he's coming back for the Steelers.
Why would you come back and play for Cleveland? That
leaves Jimmy G.
I have a hard time believing that the Rams are going to let him leave. I keep hearing that it's just a matter of crossing some T's and dotting some I's.
Yeah, there's no quarterbacks out there available. Plus, they're like paying Deshaun Watson like $100 million this year, anyways. So, all right.
Yeah, I mean, so it's going to be Shador and what's the other guy, Dylan Gabriel or something?
Well, Shador, Dylan Gabriel, well, maybe. And they still have Deshaun. Don't forget about it. All right, wide receivers. Best available looks like Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, Juwan Jennings, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Juwan. I missed the A.
I like him.
Stephon Diggs, Debo, Calvin Austin III. I like Jennings. I would hate to see him go to Cleveland.
Yes, and I'm sure Diggs will hold out and wait for a contender, and a contender will hold out and wait for his legal stuff to sort itself out. Juwan Jennings, man, I like him. I like what you're saying. It would suck if he ended up in Cleveland. He's maybe like just at the right skill level that it could be attractive for him. I think that they want a true number one, but I'm not sure that they're getting it off of this list.
Yeah, they're not. All right, so offensive line.
Yeah, you could have just hung on to your guy, Wyatt Teller, but hey, you let him go. You can, go for Jawan Taylor. That would be a Cleveland move, man. Go and get the most penalized tackle and put him at right tackle.
I forgot he was a free agent.
I'd love it if they got Taylor Decker. I'm so pissed the way that Decker left the Lions that I'd like to see him just end up on a team like Cleveland. Fuck Decker, dude. He's a piece of shit in my book now. While you're looking at, I'm just going to say this, right? He had been with the team for a long time. The team tried being open and honest with him about, hey, look, this is where we're at. This is what we want to do. Instead of even having the conversation, he blows it up and throws it on social media that he's gone, that he's requesting a trade not requesting a trade, requesting a release. And so what does that end up doing? It takes his trade value to fucking zero. It's like, hey, man, you could have at least played ball with the Lions and they could have gotten something in return. I mean, we've only paid you however many fucking tens of millions of dollars over your career, and now you're leaving either way. Just fucking return the favor, man. It just what a fucking dick, dude. Fucking dick. Yeah. So whatever. Cleveland, whatever. They're,
I like this, like with the comment about Rasheed Walker. He's probably league average as a starting left tackle.
league average at left tackle, premium position.
All right. I've been with Cleveland, with Cleveland. I'm ready to move on to Denver.
Let's do it.
All right. Denver, their needs are listed at running back, wide receiver, and linebacker.
Yeah, too bad they didn't go for fucking Walker, but whatever.
So they re-signed J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, they did. Okay, that's good. I must have missed that.
Yeah, 2-year, $20 million.
Okay.
They re-signed Alex Singleton.
Okay.
They re-signed Justin Sternad. All right. Running backs available. Who is it? Oh, no.
I think if you got Dobbins back on a 2-year deal worth $20 million, you're expecting him to be your guy. And so from here, you maybe throw another flyer on a guy in the draft to pair with what's his face, McLaughlin or whatever his name is, the other running back. But Dobbins at $10 million a year is the guy.
Yeah, no, I know. I just wanted to talk about running backs, but then I was like, wait, all these guys are gone.
I would like to see them go Juwan Jennings. I think Juwan Jennings would actually fit in that offense really well too, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was trying to leave wide receiver to last.
Oh,
purposely.
Sorry.
Because I wanted to talk about how that would be a perfect fucking fit.
Okay. Well, I stole your thunder.
And you have Quinnen Williams' brother, Quincy.
Didn't he just sign?
Nope, he signed with Cleveland. So there's no linebackers available.
Yeah, for them, if they were going for a linebacker, they'd have to do like a Hassan Reddick edge linebacker guy, which maybe could work for them. But I guess other than that, I don't know that. Yeah, they don't really have anybody else. There's not anybody else available.
Deebo Samuel could be either Juwan Jennings or Deebo Samuel could be good fits for.
Yeah, I guess receiver. I just don't like Deebo Samuel's freaking ego, but No,
I hear you. I hear you on that.
Maybe Sean Payton could keep him in check. And who knows? Sean Payton could use him at running back and he could be the gadget guy like he had in Taysom Hill and whatever in some way. So I don't know. Maybe that would be a good fit.
All right, on to Houston. Offensive line. They just say interior offensive line. They need the whole fucking offensive line. Defensive line. And they say running back, but I think they got their guy in Montgomery.
Yeah, they for sure got their guy in Montgomery. Yeah, so you can scratch that off the list. Plus, they still got Woody Marks. They're fine at running back now for sure.
All right. Yeah. So D-line and running back signings or acquisitions. They traded Juice Scruggs for David Montgomery.
Yeah, but Scruggs wasn't a starter for him, so it's okay.
Yeah. Re-signed Trent Brown. They signed
Braden Smith. I like that. I like that signing, man. He's been good.
Re-signed Ed Ingram. On edge, they re-signed Danielle Hunter. Signed Logan Hall, Naquan Jones. Re-signed Sheldon Rakins, linebacker. Re-signed EJ Speed. signed safety Reed Blankenship. I actually like that for them. Safety MJ Stewart re-signed. They re-signed Kaimi Fairbairn, and they traded for a punter. Who
Yeah,
the fuck trades for a punter?
someone that knows it can matter. I like what they did. I think that they've addressed everything except that they could get another interior offensive lineman, and that
Yeah,
that goes
exactly.
towards what we were talking about earlier with guys like Zeitler, or even Wyatt Teller. Like they could hypothetically say, "Hey, can we attract a guy like Zeitler for a year while we maybe draft and develop a guy behind him, or do we want to go after a guy like Wyatt Teller and maybe throw a 3 or 4 year contract at him and see if it works out?" I think the Zeitler play where you draft a guy on top of him makes sense. It's just a matter of can they draw Zeitler to that team. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but I like what Houston's doing, man. I think that they're serious about wanting to be relevant next year.
All right, so the Colts,
The Colts.
edge, linebacker, wide receiver. They re-signed Alec Pierce, re-signed Daniel Jones, signed edge Arden Key, defensive tackle, traded for defensive tackle Colby Wooden. They also got rid of Pittman, that wide receiver.
Yep, they traded him away. Yep, which is fine. Pierce turned out to be their one. Now they're looking for a steady two. Um, this could honestly be a good spot for what's his face, the guy from Pittsburgh, Calvin Austin, maybe. You get a guy that's more like the short intermediate guy to pair with Pierce, who's their deep field stretching guy. Like that's a good combo, man.
Yeah, so at edge, like you have Joey Bosa and Arnold Bicchetti.
Yeah.
Atenza, which really he's not a starter, he's number 3. He's a change of pace. It's not might be a decent spot for Alkadin Muhammad.
It could be. I think a team like Indy would be attractive for him, and he'd be, attractive to them too, right? It's like, a big time team might say, I don't know, man, you really only did it 1 year, but a team like Indy might like really dig into the tape and say, you know what, we think you'd fit in here and you can do it again, and they can meet in a way that's going to be like the right dollar amount for both sides, right? The right
Yeah.
dollar amount and the right length of contract. And so, yeah, that could be a good fit.
So
I was also
Jackson,
kind of looking at Kyle Van Noy, but because I think Kyle Van Noy, he's not ready to hang it up, and he's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife at like linebacker and edge and defensive end and whatever. He could be a good fit for a team like this that maybe has that hope of being competitive. And, he might look at his options and say, well, if I can't latch on with like a Buffalo or whatever, one of these top teams, maybe a fringe team like Indy could be a good spot.
see, and Indy last year, they were at one point, I think we both had them as our favorite to come out of the AFC to go to the Super Bowl
Until homeboy got
until
hurt. Yeah.
until Homeboy got hurt. So I mean,
It's just
we'll
a
see.
matter of how healthy is he going to be week one, right?
Exactly. And I think they're projecting him healthy because they paid him
Yeah,
decent
44
money.
mil a year for 2 years. Yeah.
44
Or
million
so
a year
88
for
total.
88 million could be with incentives could go up to 100 million.
With how well he played for them, I think that was the right thing to do. Plus, it's only a 2 year contract. So They've got the flexibility if the injury thing doesn't check out, or if it does and he ends up busting, right? And so it's like, I think that was the right deal for both sides, man.
Yeah, and 60 million of it's guaranteed, 50 in year one. So if after year one it's a bust, then
It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. It's only like a 10 million cap bet.
Oh, I forgot to move our sides here. There we go. I just did. Boom.
Oh. All right.
Nobody's
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
They need a cornerback. It says running back, but I'm sure that's a misprint because they drafted Travis Etienne to be a wide receiver.
I did hear that they were happy with Bashul Tootin, however you say his name, and I forget their other running back, and so they felt comfortable letting Etienne walk, but it wouldn't hurt for them to at least explore an option for a committee.
Yeah, and then defensive line signings, a bunch of re-signings. They did sign.
Defensive line seems weird to me, but maybe it's like defensive tackle.
All right, let me see. In the front seven, Devin Lloyd's about to get paid. Oh, Agba, Smoot, and Gardick are slated for free agency.
Okay. Well, they got a couple options. You got Sebastian Joseph Day. He's not bad, but rotational guy. You got Deshaun Hand. He's good value. And then you got DJ Reader. I think Reader's good, but he's fading a little bit. Calais Campbell, I don't think would go to Jacksonville. Calais Campbell's gonna call his shot if he comes back. So
yeah. No, exactly. I think plus they're also looking towards the back end of the defensive line because of the fact that they're kind of screwed a little bit with the cap right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, and so Rachaad White is the only running back on the top 101. I don't think they'd be going for him. I think they'd rather roll with who they got and draft a guy.
Oh, 100%. All right, okay. Ready to move to the lowly Kansas City Chiefs?
Let's do it to it.
Running back, cornerback, wide receivers. Well, let's get this out of the way. They don't fucking need a running back anymore.
Nope.
They signed Kenneth Walker, re-signed defensive line Kyrus Tonga, and safety Alohi Gilman. Say that 5 times fucking fast.
Alohi Gilman, but yes.
Yeah, whatever.
It's all right, man. Sometimes you know them, sometimes you don't.
Cornerback.
I will say this. Troy Aikman is really fucking good at knowing all these guys' names. So I like it when I watch, one of the games that he's covering because I'm always like, oh, that's how you say that motherfucker's name. Because I'm used to just reading them like you, and I'm like, I guess I'm just going to guess here. Yeah, I mean, they obviously need a cornerback. Maybe they go Kobe Durant. They just shipped a guy to the Rams. Now they get a guy back from the Rams.
Yeah. So they but also, I think they're going to draft because they're going to have to pay Watson soon.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't know that Kobe Durant's going to get bank breaking money. I guess is
no.
The way
I was agreeing with you because they got got to go cheap or draft is what I'm sorry. So Kobe Durant could be a good one. Wide receivers, let me see who can catch the ball. Not anybody on the fucking Chiefs.
Yeah, the problem is, man, they're just not what they do at wide receiver is just never going to make sense for them to make a splash in free agency, right? I mean,
One
I don't
thing
know.
I have a question about: why the fuck is Kareem Hunt not Kareem Hunt? What the fuck's his name?
But you got Hollywood. You're talking wide receiver. You got Hollywood Brown. You got
No,
Juju
no,
Smith
no, no, no,
Schuster.
no, no. Cheetah.
Oh, Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Why the fuck did I think his name was Kareem Hunt? Kareem Hunt was a running
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Tyreek Hill's not on this list of wide receivers.
No, because he's got um it's some leg injury that
Right, but he had the leg injury, but he had surgery and he should be fine.
yeah, I guess I got to
But
read up on it because I
at
thought I heard that
80%, he's better than Calvin Austin.
um for sure. I don't remember what it was. I just remember it was like supposed to be some like lengthy recovery time. Well, TWSN Sports is saying, oh no, it's a scenario. They were saying that the Patriots signed him. Obviously, they didn't. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I think the
everything's
way
saying
he left Kansas
AFC.
City, I think the way he left Kansas City would make it hard for him to
No, 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 no.
go
I'm
back
not
there, but
saying.
not
I'm not saying.
impossible.
I'm not saying going back to Kansas City. That's
You're just saying, why is he not
not
on the
what I was
list?
saying. I was saying, why is he not on the list? Like it just occurred
Yeah,
to me because we were talking about Kansas City,
yeah.
and I was like, why is he not on the list? So top free agency destinations
Uncertain about
according to
future
this
after knee
article.
injury. Yeah, I mean, it could just be that, oh shit, Tyreek Hill expected to join the Chargers.
Yeah, that the top three destinations listed in this article that I was going to is Pittsburgh, Chargers, and Kansas City.
Yeah,
I could
Yahoo Sports reported 6 hours ago that he's expected to sign with the Chargers. But yeah, they're saying because of the knee issue, dislocated knee and torn ACL. I don't know. Maybe that. I guess I would only speculate that that's why he didn't make the top 101 is that it's such a serious knee injury. But then if he's signing with the Chargers, man, I don't know. And I don't know. Is this just Yahoo saying that they're expecting that?
I don't know. I just found it odd. I
Yeah. Okay. So this Yahoo
it was
Sports
just
article's
fucking
not.
weird. I
It's not a for sure thing that he's going to sign with Chargers.
apparently I think it was the Italian baseball team in the World Baseball Classic has a fucking Nespresso machine in their fucking dugout, and they were just showing a player
Hey,
making himself a
yo.
fucking cappuccino. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Anyways, I digress. I come back. Okay, so Raiders.
I mean, they signed everybody under the sun.
Offensive line, quarterback, wide receiver. Quarterback's obviously going to be a draft. Offensive line, I think they fucking nailed and put a huge fucking anchor in their offensive line with Tyler
But they're
Linderbaum.
not done. They're not done. Their
They're
offensive
not
line
done.
was so bad.
They signed Jalen Naylor. They re-signed Kuntz. They signed Quiddy Pay. They signed N'Kobe Dean. They signed
Yeah, the
Quay
defense looks a lot
Walker.
better. Yeah.
They signed cornerback Taron Johnson. I'm sorry, traded for him. Signed Matt Gay to be their kicker.
Yeah, what I would say is that the Crosby thing is going to dictate what kind of money they have left to play with. And it wouldn't be bad for them to end up with Crosby because that defense, with Crosby in the mix, plus the moves they made, that looks like a respectable defense. But I think that they should be looking at like Jamari Salyer or someone else on this fucking offensive line, man, because Linderbaum can't be your only guy. And you're
Right.
about to draft a quarterback number 1 overall, man.
According to Over the Cap, they still have $38 million in cap space after the Linderbaum and all these signings.
Yeah, I think that. All right, so here's the deal. They have potential, right? You've got Linderbaum at center, who's solid, which allows them to move Jackson Powers Johnson to right guard. Solid. They still have Colton Miller at left tackle. Solid. Left guard and right tackle are fucking horrible. And so I would maybe be looking, well, I don't know, because these guys in free agency aren't really right tackles. Unless you wanted Jawan Taylor, and I'm not sure that you want Jawan Taylor. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He's the only right tackle on the list, though, that's available.
100%.
So I guess maybe you say, hey, we got 3 out of 5. That's good enough to get the quarterback, and now we're going to draft the rest of these pieces.
Wide receivers kind of slim pickings.
Or maybe, man, or maybe you go and grab fucking Wyatt Teller and put him in at left guard. And then you got 4 out of your 5 positions filled. I just don't want to see them draft Mendoza and have the guy get sacked fucking 60 times next year.
No, 100%. We'll talk about quarterbacks for when we get to the Jets.
All right.
Little teaser there for that.
Sure.
Chargers. O-line, edge, wide receiver. Let me see. They signed Colton Strange. They signed Tyler Biadasz.
Yeah, he's good. They still got Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. They just got to get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Pipkins, he's good when he's healthy. Honestly, we knew that they had a good line and they even had good depth. They just had an insane amount of fucking injuries on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't really think offensive line is that big of a need. I think that they just need their guys to get healthy.
Edge-wise, they re-signed Mac again.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good move. Yep.
Linebacker Dean Leonard is not a big deal of a signing.
This is another place where I think Juwan Jennings would fit. I think he's got that nasty kind of attitude that fucking Jim Harbaugh would like. I also think he's one of those sort of like impromptu kind of wide receivers that, Herbert, when he's making magic happen, would be able to go to him. He's not going to come in and be a wide receiver 1, but if you had a guy like Juwan Jennings and you paired him with what's his face, Johnston, and their other, the other wide receiver. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty solid 3 for your wide receivers, man.
What the fuck is that other wide receiver's name?
I must be getting tired because he's he's relevant. He's not like some fucking scrub.
I know, but I'm fucking drawing a blank too on it. I'm like, what the fuck is his name?
Lad McConkey.
Lad McConkey.
Yeah. Well, hey, sometimes you just fucking whiff. But yeah, and so for them at edge, what do you do to pair with Khalil Mack? Do you fucking go and do a short-term deal with I don't know, man. Maybe you do a short-term deal with one of these guys, I guess is what I'm thinking. You go after
I think they do.
you might be able to get a little action out of Hassan Reddick or something and then pair it up because, just remember 2 years ago they had Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. And then they just had Khalil Mack. And now Khalil Mack's gonna be gone soon. Maybe you get somebody else in there and at least give it a nice boost for a year while you develop some guys.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it looks like the offensive line was because it was center.
I gotcha.
Center and depth.
Yeah.
All right. Miami. What doesn't Miami need?
I mean, they made the splash of free agency with Malik Willis, right? Like, man, I don't know. Is that really the answer? I hope it is, but man,
All right, so
we know he can run.
QB, DB, wide receiver. Those are obvious ones. I don't think, and they did sign Malik Willis, so we'll just set that aside. I don't think any of the wide receivers really fit. Like,
no, they kind of missed the boat on wide receivers.
Here's my thing on Miami. What Miami is trying to do is they're going to be trying to build through the draft.
Yeah,
and they're trying to find those players through the draft. They're paying $100 fucking million to fucking Tyreek Hill to get Tyreek Hill Tua Tagovailoa to get the fuck off the team.
Mm-hmm.
So dead cap, they have $100 million to Tua, $30 million to Tyreek Hill, $21 million to Ramsey, $13 million to Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, they have mismanaged this fucking roster.
Yeah, total dead cap this fucking year is $178 million fucking dollars.
It's more than half the fucking total cap, man.
Yes. So
that's got to be a fucking record, dude.
No, because I think Denver a couple years ago had a dead cap hit of like 150 to Russ.
Let's see if Google Gemini can hook me up. As of March 2026, it would be the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
Before that, it was the Denver Broncos. The Miami Dolphins are expected to have over 50% to the dead cap. The previous record was Denver with 85 million.
No. Right. But okay.
Which was a lower which was a lower percentage of the total cap compared to the Dolphins scenario.
Damn.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. And you know what? The crazy thing is somehow Sean Payton fucking made it work anyhow. But I don't trust the Dolphins to do that.
All right. Patriots.
Yes.
Wide receiver, edge, O-line. They signed Elijah Vera Tucker for the O-line. I think that addresses that need.
Yep.
They signed Romeo Dobbs, wide receiver.
I like that signing.
I love that.
It.
I love that signing for them. I think that addresses that need. Edge. Let me see. They signed defensive lineman Draymond Jones.
Yep, that's a good fit for Vrabel. You know, and honestly, like fucking, hey, bring back fucking Kyle Van Noy if you want, even though, you know, he was a Belichick guy, but I think he would fit in that Vrabel defense if you really wanted to have, you know, a flexible defensive asset, or go after AJ Epinesa. I think he would be fucking great in Vrabel's defense.
I like this quote when you're reading on the NFL Top 100. No one has earned his role as Mr. 101 more convincingly than Clowney, a near annual fixture on this list. I thought that run was over before he started sacking fools straight off the couch in 2025, just like he'll do for the next 25 years.
Yeah, he's a scrub, but he's good enough to keep getting looks. He's just not good enough for anybody to ever stay in love with for more than a year at a time. But I don't like Clowney to the Patriots, man.
No,
Clowney's a mercenary. That, you know, you got to put him on a crap team that just needs a guy because, you know, he's just not a good seed, man. You know, and so I wouldn't want him on the Patriots. But that's just my opinion.
And here's the other thing with the Patriots. Rumor is they're in heavy negotiations with Philadelphia to trade for AJ Brown.
Yeah, I did hear that the Dobbs thing might change that, but
no, I heard it as late as today that they're still negotiating with Philadelphia to trade for AJ Brown.
Gotcha.
Which if AJ Brown and fucking Dobbs, that just Drake May is going to be an MVP next year.
Well, yeah, and you still got you know, Booty and whoever else. So I mean, you know, it would be a really good looking set of weapons. I don't like the way AJ Brown's operating his business either, man. It's like I want guys that are fucking team players on a team like the Patriots, man.
No, I know, and I hear you. I just,
you know, I'd rather let a guy like AJ Brown fucking fizzle and have to go play for a team like Miami and suck it up for a year or two on a bad team and sort of like rebuild his reputation of I'll do whatever the team needs to win. You know, like when you start thinking about yourself over the team, when you just won a fucking Super Bowl the other year, you know, like to me, it's just like, you don't belong here, man. You don't belong here.
So I do think a lot of the issues with AJ Brown and Philly was how the offense was running and how everyone, I think, and I'm starting to hear more that the team was complacent this year because they just won the Super Bowl.
It could be.
And they thought they were just going to win the Super Bowl again, and that's what AJ Brown was calling out. But we'll see. We have 20 seconds.
10-minute timeout.
10-minute timeout.
Where we leave off, my man?
We left off talking about the Patriots. That moves us to the Jets.
Okay.
Need a quarterback, a wide receiver, linebacker. I like this quote from the Jets general manager when asked at the combine about their quarterback plans, and he said, Justin's on the roster.
All right.
Then they went out and they traded for Geno Smith. Let's see, signed Dylan Parham, Edge, Kingsley Nagbar, Joseph Osai, defensive lineman David Onyemata, traded for Tavondre Sweat, linebacker
Yeah.
Demario Davis.
Oh shit! I didn't know about Mario Davis.
And traded for
Minka.
Minka Fitzpatrick. So what did we say their needs were? Cornerback, wide receiver, linebacker. They may have addressed the linebacker need.
Yeah.
I like Mario Davis.
Yeah.
Quarterback. All right, trading for Geno Smith and rolling Geno Smith out there as your number one QB. Are the Jets looking for that reliability that Geno Smith can be of not getting hurt and fucking tanking like no other for the number one pick in the draft next year?
Yeah, and I think that the one thing that's missing on this list is maybe because these other ones were higher priority before these signings, but I'm not sold that their offensive line is that good. And we saw how bad Geno Smith can be on a team with like a bottom 10 offensive line like he was last year. I don't see it being any better. And so I think maybe the GM's earlier comment about Justin's on the roster is probably like the best thing for them if they want to win games because whoever's at quarterback needs to be able to run for his fucking life.
Yes, but
But like
also,
you're saying, yeah, but like you're saying,
also,
that's not the plan.
also, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I think would be smart for them to do. I don't think they will do it. I would go block up Rasheed Walker for a few years
Okay.
and have him be that anchor on the left tackle for whatever quarterback's going to be here next season.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Outside of that, interior offensive line, I don't really like much of what's left for
No.
them because you really don't need the guy here this year. You're looking the year after, a year after that. Maybe Wyatt Teller could
Yeah, and I don't think
turn it
either of
around.
those guys, Zeitler or Teller, they're not looking at the Jets. You know,
Yeah,
you might be able to get the left tackle you're talking about because you're going to pay him, and a team like the Jets are going to be like, yeah, we know we got to pay you. So Rasheed Walker, come on in, and it's going to be a 4-year deal or something, and that's fine because you need a bookend for when you start breaking in your real quarterback. I do like that strategy.
yeah. I think wide receiver wise,
They're not getting one of these guys.
they're not
Maybe
getting
they
one of
get
these guys.
Maybe they get Calvin Austin, but really, what
Yeah,
you know,
but
it,
they're not getting one of these guys simply because I don't see any of these three coming in and accepting the role as the number two receiver.
yeah. I mean, I don't, you know, I think Juwan Jennings is the only guy that could be fringe one, and he's not even a one; he's a two. But like the rest of these guys are twos, threes, or even down. Like
Mm-hmm.
Debo's got the ego of a one, but he's not really a true one. He's like a gadget guy. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, either way, I don't see the fit for any of them unless it was a guy like Calvin Austin where they're like, we need to fill out depth. And it just was like, hey, this is just where I'm going to land. But
Yeah,
it's not like it's some blockbuster signing. It's just, hey, we're plugging a hole.
yeah, and like I see Juwan Jennings, Diggs, and Samuel coming in, looking at the Jets. If they looking at the Jets and say, how the fuck is Geno Smith going to get the ball to Garrett Wilson, let alone be able
Yeah.
to get to me
Yeah.
before I don't see it. Linebacker, So I think that I like that offensive tackle for them, because what they should do is this year they know they're not going to really have a quarterback, is just start beefing up their offensive line, and so get their offensive line solid, and then the following next year they're drafting a quarterback, obviously, and that's when they'll be ready for him to be able to be productive and have somebody to fucking block for him.
Yeah, I agree. You got to build the cornerstones.
All right. Pittsburgh Steelers, wide receiver, cornerback, and quarterback.
With a question mark? Yeah, that's funny. Why would they put a question mark at quarterback, man? Because maybe Rodgers, maybe not. Even if Rodgers comes back, you need a quarterback. He's not. He's not a fucking James. He's not. He's not a guy that you have lead your franchise at this stage.
Yeah, I think they started to address wide receiver. I would like more talent on the wide receiver on top of Pittman.
Yeah.
But they traded for Pittman. They signed Rico Dowdle, Driscoll for 1 year. Cam Hayward signed a 2-year contract.
Okay.
They re-signed. They signed cornerback Jamal Dean, and they re-signed Asante Samuel Jr. I would like more depth at wide receiver. I think maybe they should. I think they might be good at corner now.
Yeah, but at wide receiver, what do you want? You got fucking DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman, man.
I forgot about Metcalf.
You know,
I still would like a little like a number 3.
yeah, I want to have fucking 3 studs at wide receiver too. But come on, man. Like, is that their top need to get a wide receiver 3? Maybe it was just because it was wide receiver until they made the trade.
Yeah, probably. Cornerback, they should be good at corner now.
Okay.
Because their corners right now, they have Jamel Dean,
Porter Jr.,
Asante Samuel Jr. as
oh yeah, that's
and their nickels,
yeah.
Jalen Ramsey. Like they're pretty solid at corner now. They're pretty solid at wide receiver now. Right now, their starting quarterback is Will Howard or Mason Rudolph or Aaron Rodgers. They need a quarterback. There's not a quarterback available, really.
Yeah, I don't really know. You know, I would like to see him get some more depth on the defensive line. You know, Cam Hayward's not going to be there forever, but yeah, it's a weird state of affairs for Pittsburgh, man, because honestly, unless they get a quarterback, non-Aaron Rodgers, I don't think they're going to be fucking relevant next year.
So let's see. Talk about defensive line. Besides, and it's ooh. DJ Reader might be an option for them.
He'd be a great option for them, yeah.
Edgewise, but that's he's
their edge system. They would need a guy like Hassan Reddick, that's like a linebacker edge guy.
Exactly. No, that's where I was going with it, because they run it looks like they run a 3-4 and they're carrying that over. So if they get DJ Reader, which could be a good solid nose tackle for them, and then maybe Right inside, left inside, weak, strong. So they have Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt. TJ Watt's been injured a lot lately. There's no real linebackers available, so they're looking at the draft for that.
I mean, dude, it doesn't matter. They got fucking Mike McCarthy as the coach. It's just so wrong, man. Everything they're doing this year is wrong.
Maybe this could be a good landing spot for a Penessa.
Maybe this is where they bring in fucking Kirk Cousins.
No.
You'd rather have fucking Rodgers?
No, I don't think they're bringing in Kirk Cousins simply because I think if
What if Rodgers fucking bows out?
But when is Rodgers bowing out? When is Rodgers making that decision? Is Kirk Cousins so
even available then?
I think they're holding out for Rodgers, and if Rodgers takes too long, they might get screwed and have Will Howard as their starting quarterback. Under Tomlin,
yeah,
I would like.
I think they should. I think they should put the fucking heat on it because honestly, I would say, whether you're into Cousins or not, I would say, you know what, we're gonna make a fucking push for Jimmy G because we got fucking DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman. We got weapons. They have tight ends. It's like I would just say we're going to make a push because we need to know. We went out. We're trying to address the defense. We're trying to address the offense. We need a quarterback, man. I don't want to fucking play this fucking floating in purgatory game with fucking Aaron Rodgers, man.
No,
I would tell Jimmy G, we'll sign you to a 3-year deal, man. Fucking like low to mid-tier starter level money because we would rather know right now who our guy is and build our team around that than fucking play this goddamn game.
No, I agree with you, but it doesn't feel like that's what they would do. And
I hear you. I hear you. Obviously, they brought in Mike McCarthy and they think somehow that's going to bring Aaron Rodgers back. I think Jimmy G at this stage of his career is better than Aaron Rodgers at the stage of his career.
And here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say something. You're going to disagree with it. What if the best thing is to go out there with the quarterback room being Mason Rudolph or Will Howard? They have a down fucking year, get a high draft pick. This next QB draft is supposed to be fucking loaded. Get their QB in the draft.
I'm all for that, but not with Mike McCarthy as the coach.
Exactly. That I agree with you. That's the issue. Is Mike McCarthy as the coach?
Yeah. If they brought in a new coach and it was like, hey, we're in a fucking rebuild and we're doing this, and the expectation is this year might suck, and it's okay, guys, because this is like a springboard to the future. Sure. But when you bring in Mike McCarthy, you're bringing him in because you're saying, hey, man, you're going to lock down Aaron Rodgers. We're going to win now. It's going to be like the Green Bay offense of fucking, circa fucking 2009, which it's not. And, and it's just like, dude, I guess I don't know why I'm getting so worked up about it. Maybe because I've liked the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time, and now I think that they're like, they're floating out to sea.
Yeah, no, I agree, and they do need to blow it up. Their last 3 head coaches were in their 30s when they signed them as their head coach, and they were there for multiple years. Since like the 60s, they've had 3 fucking head coaches.
Yeah, and this guy's going to make it 2 years, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Titans.
Yeah.
According to the interwebs, Tennessee needs edge, wide receiver, and cornerback.
Yeah.
They've done a lot in free agency.
I think they addressed edge, right?
They signed Wandale Robinson. I don't
Oh, and
think
wide receiver, a little bit of wide
a
receiver.
little bit
Yeah.
of wide receiver. I don't think that moves the needle far enough, but it's a good start. They signed it's nothing Schlottman. That's nothing Edge. They traded for Jermaine Johnson.
Yep. One of Salah's guys with the Jets.
Yes, they gave a big fucking contract to John Franklin Myers. They traded for Solomon Thomas on the defensive line. At cornerback, they signed Cordale Fott, Alante Taylor, and Joshua Williams. So I think that leaves it for a wide receiver.
I mean, I do like what they're doing, man. I just fucking it's just like how much are they climbing out of the hole because their hole was so deep, man.
And I don't see any, maybe Calvin Austin if he gets a shitload of money. But outside of that, I don't see any of the top 100 wide receivers even looking at Tennessee.
No, probably not. I'm struggling to find a place to reach because I want to see Robert Saleh succeed. And I'm just, man, it's just like this team was so bad last year. They were like historically bad last year. And I think it's like on paper, it looks like what they're doing is good, but I just still think that they're so far away, and I don't know what it is because it's like you need to have like it's like, hey, you're Robert Saleh. Forget about the offense. You need to have like a top 3, top 5 defense and just hope that the offense can fucking score like 14 points a game. because you got Cam Ward that's gonna I don't know, dude. I just don't have a lot of faith, man. Or maybe Mitchell Trubisky. Maybe he comes in and takes over. I would just say whatever else you got in the tank, fucking throw it at any of the top defensive guys that are left. That's all I would say.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that. I was scrolling through defense of guys that are available.
Fucking Deshaun Hand.
Deshaun Hand.
Look at what Saleh did in his heyday with the 49ers. They had a defensive line that was like 9 guys deep. Okay? Sign fucking Deshaun Hand. Throw a flyer on fucking anybody else on here. Make a hard push for fucking DJ Reader. I don't care, dude. Just stack it as deep as you can and just fucking rotate the shit out of it, man.
This is and like so like I was scrolling through and then I didn't actually read this about because we know he resigned. Cam Jordan in his entire 15-year career has only missed 2 fucking games.
Die hard.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's impressive, dude. That's some Frank Gore shit.
Mm-hmm. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would just say whatever you got left in the tank, stack the defensive line as deep as you fucking can. I do like them going and getting, or not. They didn't go out and get. Dang it! Now I'm trying to fucking pull it up because I just fucking lost it. They got fucking Jeffrey Simmons at defensive tackle, right? Okay, that's a great starting point. Jermaine Johnson, ton of potential, never really got there with the Jets. I guess it's just what I'm saying. Just keep throwing darts. John Franklin Myers, great. You're overpaying him though. I don't care. Just keep fucking stacking. Keep fucking stacking that defensive line. Alante Taylor, all those cornerbacks, they're going to look way better if you've got a fucking top 5-ish defensive line.
100%. I like what they're doing. I don't think it really moves the needle far enough.
I think we're gonna see a trying year. But man, it's like unless fucking Cam Ward has a fucking phenomenal year 2 bump, they're gonna be a fucking rough year, dude. It's gonna be a rough team.
Oh, I agree. I agree 100% there. All right. Well, that's the last AFC team.
It sure is. Next week we'll do the NFC.
Next week we will, and we will see who else we think the Arizona Cardinals should do.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah, just throw a little teaser out there for you guys that are still listening. We're going to kick it right off with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes, go team. All right, James, it was fun. I'll catch you later, my man, as soon as I hit stop recording.
Gridiron Grinder. Hut, hut, hike.